Black entrepreneurs, but I don't know any of them whose children go to our school. So I asked the question, and I'm like, I'm in this group chat, and I asked the host, what's the purpose of this group chat? It's for us to support one another as entrepreneurs, right? She said, yes, that's the mission. Okay, great. And I asked everybody, how many of you have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, friends of the family that go to Keishonda's Academy? Nobody. Crickets. And so the one of the people in the chat ended up telling me that I can catch more bees with honey. And I'm not really trying to catch more bees, if you will. I'm asking a legitimate question.
A thought-provoking question. I understand where you were coming from.
Right. We're all Black entrepreneurs.
To me, that sounded like a research question.
It was.
Like you were collecting data.
I followed the question up with, if your children don't go to our school, what can Keishonda's Academy do to get more entrepreneurs to put their children in our school? And I was actually specific. It said Black entrepreneurs, because the public school around here is horrible. So it's not like some people could say, well, I don't know, y'all just started. We've been here for 4 years, right? And we know that it takes 4 to build a foundation. You give 4 pillars, you got a foundation. So we've been here for 4 years. So you can't really say, your school just started. Okay, that's fair. Our school just started. Everything that any other private or public school can offer their students, sports, academics, we can compete with any private or public school in the state of Illinois. We are recognized by Illinois State Board of Education. I just sent Illinois State Board of Education an email the other day, because we have our first high school graduate from Keishonda's Academy. And I wanted to check in with them, like, okay, what do you all need from us with our first high school graduate? They said, you're a legitimate school. You don't need anything from us. You need to provide the transcripts and a diploma for your graduate. So when you talk about an institution now competing with every institution, we have that available to us. But we, being Black people, and particularly Black people in our area, I don't know. The private school,
I have a thought.
And the public schools here, their ice cubes are colder. I don't really know, but I posed the question, and I guess it offended some people, which I guess I can see that, but it wasn't. Again, I asked the follow-up question though: what can we do to get you to put our students in the school? And nobody really answered that question. Everybody kind of jumped to the question of, well, this is why I don't have children in the school. This is why I don't have children. Well, what can we do to get you to bring the children to the school? Because one thing that I know is working or being an administrator, having to wear every hat, I've learned the ins and outs of how funding works for school systems. And one thing that these public schools are making, I don't even know how it goes, hand over fist. They making a lot of money just from having them children sit in the seats, but they're not
pupil spend. Yes.
But they're not doing anything about it. They're literally not earned. They're just getting the money because the children are sitting in the seats. And so I share with the young a brother that goes to our school. I'm like, people don't realize, but here in our city, let's say we had 2,000 students. If we had 2,000 students, then we would get $2,000 more. It'd be more than $2,000, but we would get enough funding that we probably wouldn't need parents to pay tuition. If we had teachers that could, do reading and math tutoring for Title I, like people don't, I don't know how to explain this. We just like this whole mundane, just semi school, just they go to the local public school is where it's at. But in our area, this public schools is horrendous, and we just need a few bodies to just be here. Like, even if, let's assume we weren't Black owned, the public school is horrible. Let's assume that we're a charter school. The private schools out here aren't giving our children Black history. But then you throw on top of that a Black owned entrepreneurial school. It doesn't even, like, to me, it's like, make it make sense that you as a Black entrepreneur would not want your child to experience school from other Black entrepreneurs. I don't even understand that. And I can go on my soapbox forever, but you hear about such and such teacher taking off the little boys, right? Middle school teachers messing around with middle school boys or high school boys. And so my thing is, we give the public school and even other private schools, like, we don't check in with those particular institutions the same way we do with ours. So I had somebody tell us that, what if your school provided a bio? And I'm like, when we send our children to public school, do we ask for a bio? Or maybe if I could do a tour of the school. When we send our children to public schools, do we, I need to do a tour of this institution, and I need a bio. Well, they have a website, so that's pretty much their bio. But no, we do not support. And it's unfortunate, because honestly, it's not hurt me. It's not hurt my family. It's a detriment to the children in our community that don't get this opportunity when they have it right there in front of them. That's unfortunate. And I don't know. I guess if some people in our area see this podcast, I don't know. Obviously, you can't win everybody. Jesus didn't win over everybody, so we're not going to win over everybody. But it's unfortunate that you have a Black entrepreneurial school, but Black entrepreneurs' children don't go to the school. That
is really sad. That's really sad. And I mean, I have a theory. I have an idea about why they don't. And it doesn't even necessarily have to do with money, although I think that is the first thing a lot of people will cry. But I think it's just the programming, the institutional programming, the way that we've been taught since we were in kindergarten, that this is how you go to school. And it's a sacred cow that needs to be killed. There's more than one way to go to school, just like there's more than one way to earn a living. It's not by always going to someone else's job, although that's very important, because if a company doesn't have employees, then they can't sustain themselves. So I'm not saying that everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, and I'm not even saying that everybody needs to have their child go to a private school, but mine have gone to private schools. And you have to do what's best for your children. But if there were a Keekefers in my neighborhood, they'd be going. They would be going. And I think that it does take a lot of awareness raising. Like, there's statistics around how long how long people have to hear of a new concept before they buy into it, and then so many years before they become indoctrinated to it. So all of those things are to be taken into consideration. And so there's a will. Where there's a will, there's a way. And eventually I think you'll have the following that kids in the community deserve. So I just commend you on what you guys are doing, and I know that you're going to keep doing that. And in closing, I want to ask you a couple of questions. What's something whimsical about Sister Keishonda that people might be surprised to know, for those who know you?
Pardon me, but can you define whimsical?
Something that's like playful and unexpected.
Whimsical.
Like a hidden talent, or
so people know. I'm trying to think of something that people don't know me that. So I think I have things. So I like to play video games, if you will. I'm a video game, Call of Duty, The Last, Modern Warfare. So I think that's whimsical. Something else I just talked about my husband with. When we first got married, we had a digital camera, right? And the kind where you had to put an SD card in it in order to save the data. But anyway, we had this camera. And when he and I first got married, we used to record ourselves. So similar to exactly what people are doing today, 17 years ago, this is what my and I used to do. And we would do it just, just for fun, just to record ourselves. But like, and I wish I had the footage because it's just hilarious. So this was like before children. This is like we were babies, but we would like record ourselves just doing special stuff, like cracking jokes, wrestling around. Like it just like what you see people doing today. Like people are making money from having not even podcasts, but having like channels and stuff. Like I wish we would have followed through because I mean, obviously everybody probably did it, but I swear we were like the first people to do this. We just didn't post it. And this was before posting was even a thing. Like we had these SD cards and I don't know, between moving, we lost them. But yeah, that so I told my husband that, it's kind of, I don't really want to do it no more because I'm like you, like I just don't want to be the center of attention. But it used to be fun, especially when we would go back and watch them and like hear ourselves laughing at each other. Like it was some good times.
Nice, nice. And so if people want to learn more about your school, or if they want to enroll their children or work with you in some capacity, how can they find you?
So I am Sister Keishonda, SIS Keishonda on Facebook. And then if you can, I don't know if you can put something in the chat. Can you do that? And then people have access to it, or do I have to spell it out?
No, you would have to spell it out.
So you can go to kikaversacademy.org. That's KIKI, like the name Kiki. FE as in Edward RS Academy.org. So kikaversacademy.org. And that Kikavers Academy you can find on all social media. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on Instagram. So if you just Google Keishonda Academy, then you'll get to us. And again, I'm Sister Keishonda, KEISHONDA on Facebook. I don't have any other social media. That's the gist of it. And then if you want to reach us from there, find a way to call the school or email the school or message the school on Facebook, and you'll get to me.
All right. Thank you so much, Sister Keishonda. Thank you. I have really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too.
All right. And yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.